This is Taylor. Good agent. Good heart. 2 or 3 deals a month that somehow feel like 12 deals a month. Because Taylor's weeks are chaos, and when every week is chaos, even the wins feel heavy. I want to give you a few examples of what we're doing with Taylor. And I want to see if you can see yourself in parts of Taylor's story. So last week, Taylor got that call. Hey, we loved meeting you to list our house. We went with another agent. Of course, she asked why, as she was on a text. The other agent's presentation felt, 5 years ahead. It had 3 pricing bands, a buyer demand score, a pre-market set of buyer matches from AI, and a full media kit. Taylor said to herself, I don't have all that. And the client really hit the dagger moment, said, you know what, Taylor, the other agent, they just seemed more confident. Same market, same house, different leverage. So listen, Taylor's not lazy, right? But her inbox when we first met was like a museum of meaningless, just checking in emails, and the same thing on text. And emails with those little 5-day reminders saying follow up, a lot of dead air to her lead generation. And then Taylor just said to herself, I gotta level up. It's got to be a better way. And of course, she said to herself, I'll just start posting more, as if she hadn't told herself that like 20 times before. So she was kind of stuck. And then here comes the part that she doesn't post about. She's been missing bath time with her 2-year-old. A lot of late night scrolling, some emails from texts from clients, a lot of killing time and dopamine hits. And then that voice from upstairs from her husband. Taylor, are you still working? Or this one before they turn over to go to sleep and the lights go out. Are we okay? Taylor gets up the next day on a scroll break. She sees one of my shorts on Instagram. And I said, AI won't replace agents, but AI is going to replace agents who are not using AI. And this time she didn't roll her eyes. She said, this might be the shot I need to get to different. So she set a timer for 30 minutes, like I said to do. And she said, this time no eye roll. She set her phone timer for 30 minutes. She said, fine, I'll try this once. We call it the Focus 30, right? The 3-3-1. And here's how it goes. First 10 minutes, Taylor finds 3 people to talk to, just to talk to. Not magic. That cute couple that she met last week at the open house last weekend. That landlord she spoke with last month who's got 3 houses to sell but said, I'm not going to give them away. 3 humans, right? People to talk to. First 10 minutes. Second 10 minutes. Follow them on social media, as many as you can. You may already be following them. And send each of those 3 people one useful message. Let AI draft it. Taylor tweaks the tone so it sounds human. Here's an example of what she's been sending. We call it the Zillow Zestimate screenshot. And so you take a picture of the person's house, look it up on Zillow, screenshot that, send it off to the client. And the text says something like this. Hey, Zillow has your house at $665. That shows that you're up about $200,000 in equity since 22. I've got my thoughts. What are yours? Send, send, send. Easy. That's the second 10 minutes. Third 10 minutes, post one market story. AI pulls the numbers. Taylor adds in the so what about the numbers. Taylor says, inventory nudged up, so did days on market. If you want to move before school starts, here's what that actually means for you. Post it. That's it. Timer off. 30 minutes are done. No fireworks. Just a small feeling that Taylor hasn't really felt before, or at least in a while. Control. So Taylor had a good day. Next day, new challenge. Texting buyers that she's been taking around, met them at the open house. She hears, or they give her the classic line on text. We'll be ready to make an offer when the Rice house. We'll be ready to make an offer when the right house comes along. It's not a no, Taylor says, but it's definitely a not yet. I mean, she's shown in the right house twice now and they haven't made an offer on it. It's a not yet. Taylor remembers the airplane story where we talk about finding your clients the right seat versus selling them. And here's how it goes. So instead of going into sales mode, right, telling them that they're going to miss out and that paying 1 more cent in rent is stupid, she uses the airplane model. Taylor says, got it, she said. So on my team, Taylor said, we seat buyers in 2 cabins. With me? Sure, they said. I got a first-class cabin. These are kind of now people. They're going to pull the trigger when the criteria of the house that they're looking for comes up, either this week or at least in 30 to 60 days. You know, ducks in a row. We're doing this thing. Or you can be in coach, right? You're browsing, you're learning, you're looking at my emails, not under pressure to make a decision, and you're kind of taking it all in, no pressure. So Taylor says, where do you want to be in terms of your seat? She sends a smiley emoji along with the text, and they responded. They say, we want to be in coach. Taylor says, great. Coach comes with 2 things. A clean, saved search with 1 short note from me each week. Maybe about a home that just got relisted, or maybe just a quip about rates dipping down just a tad, right? 1 note a week from me. And then a 15-minute runway check every month, right? If life changes, we move you up to first class instantly. So instead of now feeling sold, they feel safe. And Taylor says to herself, good, no more driving them around to the next perfect house that they're also not going to buy. They can stay back in coach, where they get what they really want at this point in time, and she won't lose track of them when they're ready to do something in the future. The pipeline is labeled, everyone knows the next step, labels beat limbo. And the clarity of putting buyers in a right seat on the plane early on, that feels like serving, not selling. Now some tiny wins that lead to momentum, and have been for Taylor. She got a reply, right? Then somebody set up a coffee, want to talk about investing. And then a listing conversation over text where she sends some pricing information over that AI helped her draft. And the sellers say, sounds good. Then 2 more real appointments pop up on a calendar. She's doing the 10-10-10, the focus 30, right? Not a miracle, not 5 hours a day, 30 minutes a day. Momentum. And the momentum is becoming kind of addictive. So time to go on one of those appointments she set for listings the following week. She runs some comps, enlists ChatGPT to help her pull glean some magic out of what the comps are out. She's saying she heads out to the appointment. Taylor starts every walkthrough at the appointment we talked about in terms of being human, right? Listing walkthroughs start with a clip that says, I'm here at the front door, right? Proof of presence. Not AI, it's Taylor. And before she hits record, she checks what buyers are buzzing about this week. AI checks the comments, the DMs, neighborhood groups, search terms that are hot. She knows that before she gets there and meets the sellers. AI skims the noise and highlights and gives her the top 3 hot buttons for this specific address. Then on the phone, she tells a 20-second human story that matches what buyers are talking about right now. Morning light pours into this east-facing kitchen, she said. Coffee, homework, a hidden pantry that keeps the counters clear. Quiet backyard, no road hum. We're set back. You can actually hear the birds. Oh, and by the way, the dog has a corner of shade. It's got a real door in the office, so Zoom calls don't happen in the hallway, and an outlet for the EV in the garage. Simple, human, present tense. AI doesn't sell the house, doesn't replace her. It tells Taylor which story to lead with. And the right people for the listing begin to lean in, the wrong people self-select out. Showings get better. By the way, Taylor got the listing. And each week she listens again, updates the 3 hot buttons, and the story gets sharper. Not for tech's sake. This is people first, with the AI as a highlighter. Sellers don't just want numbers. They want your insight and a plan. They want Taylor's insight. Clients buy agents, not AI. Give them both, and you become the adult in the room. So for Taylor, what's changed so far and what didn't? Taylor didn't get louder, right? She didn't post 20 more times that she's been telling herself to do 20 times in a row. Taylor got leveraged. She built a tiny set of habits around stuff that didn't feel salesy, so she'd actually do them this time. 3 human touches a day. Do more if you want, but start with 3, right? Messages that sound like they came from a real person because they did. 1 market story that helps someone decide. That little focus 30 loop using Lead Spark, the 10-10-10, it gave her control back of her schedule. Like the reason she got in real estate in the first place. The human things, those stayed human. The negotiation, that's Taylor. Reading the room, especially at closing, that's Taylor. Eye contact, asking one more question, and actually listening for the answer, Taylor. So if you see yourself in Taylor, any part of her story feels like yours, don't wait as long as Taylor did. Message me below and I'll send you more information about what we're doing to transform Taylor's business. Or I'll send you a different model that we might need to implement for your specific market. Either way, check back for more information about Taylor's transition on this channel. Thanks for watching.